Let us take the theorem which states that if a function f from a to b is invertible, then it has a unique inverse. That means whenever this function is invertible, suppose you have a set a and b, suppose this is your a and this is b, and this is your f from a to b, f from a to b, then if it is invertible, invertible means it has an inverse, it has an inverse function, f inverse, then this inverse is unique. There is only one inverse for a given function. Unique means there is only one inverse for a given function if it is invertible, if f is invertible. And what it says, if f of a is equal to b, suppose if you have an element a here, if you apply f on this, suppose you are going to get an element b. B is what? B is the image of a. If you apply f on this, you are going to get b. Then what it says, if you take the inverse of b, if you again apply inverse on this, you will get back your element. So this is your f inverse of b. This is f inverse of b is nothing but a. If you apply inverse function on b, you will get back your pre-image. So this is what it says. Note, if f is set of all ordered pairs such that a belongs to capital A and small b belongs to capital B is invertible, f is a function which has set of all ordered pairs, then f inverse, how do we define f inverse? Just take the reverse of these here. Inverse of an element a comma b will be b comma a. B belongs to capital B and A belongs to capital A, and conversely. Let us take this theorem. A function f from a to b is invertible. Very important theorem which we use in solving the problems. A function is invertible if and only if it is 1-to-1 and onto. That means if you want to prove f inverse exists, that is f is invertible is nothing but f inverse exists. It is sufficient if you prove the function f is both 1-to-1 and onto. This theorem states that only f inverse exists if and only if the function f is 1-to-1 and onto. Let us take the other theorem. Let a and b be finite sets with same cardinalities. That is, number of elements in A will be same as number of elements in B, and f be a function from a to b, then the following statements are equivalent. F is 1-to-1. Here, what is the condition? We have this condition. The cardinalities of a and b are same, and f be a function from a to b. Then obviously, whenever f is 1-to-1, then it will be onto also. You can observe here, Suppose you have 3 elements, in this also 3 elements, because cardinalities must be same. Let us take it is 1 to 1. What do you mean by 1 to 1? From this element to one element, from here to here, from here to here. Since it is 1 to 1, now you can observe all the elements of B are mapped. All the elements of B are mapped. That means it is onto also. It is onto also. So it is, these two are equivalent. That means whenever it is onto, it becomes 1 to 1 also. Whenever it is onto, it must be 1 1 also, because the cardinality of A and B are same. And F is invertible. That means whenever it is 1 1, it is onto. 1 1 and onto means invertible function. Now let us see the statement of other theorem. If F from A to B and G from B to C are invertible, F is invertible, G is also invertible functions, then composition G composition F from A to C is an invertible function. Composition will also be invertible. And what is the inverse of this composition? Let us see. The inverse of this composition is given by F inverse composition G inverse. So inverse of this composition is F inverse composition G inverse. Let us take one example. Let A be a set of all real numbers such that x is a real and x is greater than or equal to -1. Such real numbers we have taken. Set of all real numbers which are greater than or equal to -1 we have taken in the set A, and B is a set of all real numbers which are greater than or equal to 0. Greater than or equal to 0. Such real numbers we have taken in B. Consider the function from A to B defined by f of A is equal to root of A plus 1. That is, we have taken A, B. If you take an element here and if you map by using the function f, you are going to get an element of the form root of A plus 1. Image of A is this. Image of A is this under the function f. That's what they are saying. We need to show that f is invertible. We need to prove f is invertible and determine what is f inverse. So we already know to prove any function is invertible. To prove any function is invertible, we need to prove two cases. It is 1 to 1, f is 1 to 1 and f is onto. If we are able to prove the function f is both 1 to 1 and onto, it shows that the function f is invertible. We have just seen in the previous theorems this case. Then we will find what is f inverse. And let us see. Given, what is given? The function is given in this way for all A belonging to the set A. To prove f is 1 to 1. Now let us prove the first case, f is 1 to 1. How do we prove? So one of the way is consider the images are same. Consider the images of two different elements are same. Consider the images of these elements. We cannot say these two are different. Consider these images are same for A1 and A2. Then we will prove their pre-images are also same. What is f of A1? Root of A1 plus 1. F of A2, by using this definition you will get A2 plus 1. Now what happens? Root and root will get cancelled. Then you get after cancelling root and root, you will get A1 plus 1 is equal to A2 plus 1 and 1 will get cancelled. So you will get A1 is equal to A2. So by considering the images are same, we have proved that the pre-images are also same. That shows that the function f is 1 to 1. Hence the function f is 1 to 1. Now let us prove it is onto. F is onto. Take any b belongs to B. Let us take any element b belongs to capital B, and we know that for any element a, image of a will be root of a plus 1. We also know this. Now we have considered any general element in B. Now we need to prove every element in B has a pre-image, in this. Now we are going to find what is that pre-image. Does we have that? Take any b belongs to B, then b is equal to f of a. That means b is equal to f of a. If you take this as a, if you apply f on this, you are going to get b. b is equal to f of a happens. b is equal to f of a happens only when holds b is equal to f of a holds if b is of the form root of a plus 1. Image of a becomes b. Image of a becomes b only when b is of the form root of a plus 1. Because every image is of this form, b is of this form. Let us see, is it possible or not? B will be of this form or not? Let us see. Now let us see whether it is possible or not. Squaring both sides. If you square both sides, square and root will get cancelled. It will give b square is equal to a plus 1. And what is a? A is equal to b square minus 1. A is equal to b square minus 1. And what is b? B belongs to capital B. B belongs to capital B. Now we need to verify, does this element exist? Does this element, such a element exist in capital A or not? We need to verify. Okay. To verify this, we need to check the condition of the set A. Let us go back and see what is the set A. Here, set of all real numbers which satisfies this. This is the set of all real numbers which are greater than or equal to minus 1. So we need to prove this A is greater than or equal to minus 1. If you are able to prove this case, then you can say yes, A is there in capital A. This small a is there in capital A. To prove this, we need to know what elements are in B. The elements in B are greater than or equal to 0. Elements in B are greater than or equal to 0. So therefore this B is always greater than or equal to 0. Now let us use this here. Yeah. Now since B is greater than or equal to 0, what happens? Let us see. Since B is greater than or equal to, we note that B square minus 1 is always greater than or equal to minus 1. Since B is greater than or equal to 0, then this complete value, if you check, if you verify, this complete value will be greater than or equal to minus 1. So what we have proved, this is greater than or equal to minus 1. That means A is greater than or equal to minus 1. Yes, we verified this condition. Therefore, such an element b square minus 1 exists here. So for every b, the element of the form b square minus 1 exists. For every b, the element of the form b square minus 1 exists in the set A, which is the pre-image of B. So what we have proved, every element of B are mapped with some element. If this is some element E, then here the element will be E square minus 1. So every element has a pre-image. This implies that A is equal to B square minus 1 belongs to A. Now we write the conclusion. Thus every B belongs to B. Thus every B in B has a pre-image of the form B square minus 1, of the form A is equal to B square minus 1 in A under the function f. Hence f is onto. Why it is onto? In general we have proved every element here has a pre-image of the form element square minus 1. Okay. Therefore f is invertible. Now we need to find what is f inverse. The inverse of f is given by, see here itself we are getting to know, if you are coming back from the set B to A, pre-images are coming like B square minus 1. So f inverse of B is B square minus 1. So this is the inverse function, you can say. This is the inverse function, you can say, is given by f inverse of B is B square minus 1. For all B belonging to capital B. Now let us take another problem. Let A is equal to B is equal to R. The set of all real numbers and the functions f from A to B and g from B to A be defined by, f is defined like this and g is defined like this for all elements of B. G is a function from B to A. We have two sets. This is your A, this is your B. F is from A to B. Then G is from B to A. G is from B to A. The functions are defined like this. Show that each of f and g is the inverse of the other. That means f is the inverse of g and g is the inverse of f. We need to prove. Let us prove now. So to prove f is the inverse of g, we already know. If you take the composition and apply on any element, if you are getting back the element same, then we say g is the inverse of f. Not only in this way, we need to prove in the other way also. G composition f on x should give the same element. Then we say f is the inverse of g and g is the inverse of f. See, that is what we are going to prove. First case we are going to take this. Let us prove this. Consider the LHS. Here what we do, we remove this composition and apply f on x. We have applied. What is the f of x in the question? Let us take g as it is and let us treat f of x as y for now. Let us take f of x as y for now, where y is f of x. But what is the function g we have in the question? G is of this form. G of y, g of any element is 1 by 2 into y plus 1 whole to the power 1 by 3. This is about the function g. But what is the y now? Y is our f of x. Y is our f of x. Y is f of x. So what is f of x in the question? Let us write 1 by 2 as it is, plus 1 also we have written as it is. But what is y? Y is the function f of x. F of x is given by, the f of x is given by 2x cube minus 1, which is given in the question. Let us take this in this place now, in the place of y, which is nothing but f of x. Yeah, we have kept. Now what happens? Minus 1 plus 1 will get cancelled. Then this 2 and this 2 will get cancelled. Yeah, here minus 1 plus 1 has got cancelled. This 2 and this 2 get cancelled. What you get is x cube whole to the power 1 by 3. X cube whole to the power 1 by 3. Now what happens? This 3 and this 3 will get cancelled. You will get just x. So we have proved this case, that is G composition f on x gives same x here. Thus G of f is Ia. Now let us prove the other way. We need to prove f composition G on y gives y for any y belongs to B, because the other function g is from B to A. Remove this composition and apply g on y like this. Now f as it is, f as it is. Let us write what is g of y now. Let us write what is g of y given in the question. G of y is this. G of y is this. Now what happens? F, let us apply f on this element. Now we consider this as one element. This as one element and apply f. F is f of an element. F of an element is 2 into element cube minus 1. Element 2 into element cube minus 1. What is the element? This. Let us keep this element here. Yeah, we have put. Now what all things will happen? Let us see. This cube and this cube will get cancelled. This 2 and this 2 will get cancelled. Yeah, first we have cancelled cube. Then we will cancel this 2. What you have is y plus 1 minus 1. Minus 1 plus 1 will get cancelled. What you get is y. Yeah, this is our the other way of saying f composition G is IB, identity element on identity function on the set B. So we have proved in both the ways, this way as well as this way. Therefore f is the inverse of G and G is the inverse of f, we have proved. Hence each of f and G is the inverse of the other. We have completed this problem.